All right. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Johan Wendt, and I'm here to tell you about my non-profit organization, Mattecentrum. What we do is that we tutor about 160,000 kids in mathematics for free. And this is how the story was born, or how the idea was born. So I grew up in the forest, and both my parents are teachers. As a kid, I was always tutored when I came home from school, and they always helped me with my homework. Many years later, while I was studying at the university, one day my neighbor's kids rang on my doorbell, and when I opened, they said, "Johan, you know what, we need help with our math homework and nobody can help us. Can you help me? Can you help us?" And I said, "Yes, of course." So we sat down around my kitchen table and I tutored them all evening, and I loved it. It meant so much to me. This became a regular thing. So a couple of times a week for several years, I tutored these kids in mathematics, and it was so much fun. After that, I grew up, I moved to Stockholm. My first job was as a wastewater engineer. I didn't love it. I worked as a risk analyst within hydropower. I didn't love it. So I decided to do something that I truly loved, and that was to tutor kids in mathematics. I quit my job, I went to school, and I borrowed a classroom for 4 evenings a week. And I also invited kids, because the thing is, meanwhile, I had read lots of articles about how Europe was suffering because the kids didn't know mathematics well enough. So I had my classroom, I had several kids, and I tutored them. I started up in another place, and I recruited lots of volunteers. And I scaled up all over Stockholm, then I scaled up all over Sweden. So today, we tutor about 4,000 kids in 23 cities, and we do around 60 math labs every single week. And we have approximately 400 volunteers that are tutoring them. 50% of the kids have immigrant background. About 50% of them have ethnic Swedish background. 16% of all our children speak Somali with their parents, and they are 100% sweethearts. And I also want to tutor the kids that are not able to come to our math labs, the kids that for some reason maybe live outside the city, or they just can't come. So I recorded about 1,000 video lessons where I tutored math. I wrote math problems, theory, I created forums where you can ask questions, and I released everything on a site called matteboken.se. In English, that would be translated to math book. We have approximately 160,000 kids, or 17% of all children between the age of 9 and 19 years old, studying math with us online in Sweden every single month. And the video lessons have been watched about 4 million times. I've actually done this site in English also, following the American curriculum. We have approximately 30,000 kids studying with us there. It's on mathplanet.com. The kids are mainly from India, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and the United States. Alright, since everything is for free for the kids, I have to get scholarships from big foundations. I apply for sponsorships from big companies, and occasionally I win competitions like this. The first year, I raised about 2,000 euros. I wasn't very good at it. Next year, 70,000. Then 210, 420, 580,000 last year. This year, I'm expecting to raise around 875,000 euros. And the key question is, are we cost effective? We sure are. If one kid studied with us for 1 full year and studies as much as he or she wants, it costs about 6 euros for us, not more, not less. Is that it? Of course not. I also started up the very same organization in Denmark under the name mattecentrum, is in Danish. And we have an office in Copenhagen. We tutor kids in 4 cities. We have around 80 volunteers. We're tutoring 900 kids. And we also do online tutoring, but we just started with it. Alright, so that's our core business, but we do a bunch of other things. For example, the day before the national exam in mathematics, all over Sweden, we do giant math labs. Here you see 400 kids queuing in the main square of Stockholm in order to study math with us in a sunny afternoon. I sent an email to everybody in the Swedish parliament, and I said, "Hey dudes and women in the Swedish parliament, are you able to solve this simple equation? If you are, then you can come to my math lab and tutor the kids at one time. If you're not able to solve it, then you can come as a student." All political parties in Sweden were represented in my math labs as tutors. Nobody came as students. Then they went home and they Facebooked, they blogged, and they tweeted about it. And over one night, we had a total recognition in the political arena in Sweden. I convinced the biggest producer of milk to write about my organization and the backside of the milk cartons. I convinced Donald Duck magazine to write one full magazine all about mathematics and about my organization. And they even did like a stupid cartoon out of me. So why am I telling you this? Well, because this is how we advertise, this is how we market ourselves. We don't spend money on marketing, we get it for free, of course. Oh, sorry about that. First day in senior high school, I received a formulary. I love my formulary. In Sweden, we can't afford to give formularies to the kids any longer. It made me so angry. I created my own formulary as an iPhone and Android app. And of course, it's for free to download. It's been downloaded about 400,000 times. And at one point, it was the most downloaded educational app in both Sweden, Norway, and Denmark. So, this is Dogge, Sweden's most famous hip-hopper. Here it is, solving a math problem. This is something that I call celebrity math. Dogge is very crappy at math, but this is a way how we promote ourselves. Do you want to be better than a hip-hopper at mathematics? Then join Mattecentrum. The video has been watched over 100,000 times. Saturday, next week, me and my team are taking over McDonald's restaurants all over Sweden when we're transforming them into math labs. And if kids, bless you, if kids want to do mathematics, then they have to finish their food first, so they can study math while they eat their burgers. When I started Mattecentrum, everybody told me, Johan, this is a really bad idea. You will never get money, you will never get the kids, you will never get your volunteers. The guy that went the furthest just told me, Johan, this is the most stupid fucking idea I ever heard. And that really hurt me, and really crushed my heart when he told me that. And at one point I thought he was right. Today, I have been elected the most successful social entrepreneurs in Sweden a couple of times, and I was offered to publish my book, a book about my journey, and it's coming out in December. I'm very thankful for what that guy said, because it's a perfect title for my book. So the book that's coming out in December is called The Most Stupid Fucking Idea I've Ever Heard, more or less. One of my superheroes, Jerry Greenfield, the founder of Ben & Jerry, I'm very proud to say that he's endorsing me on the cover of the book. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. Alright, so you heard a little bit about Mattecentrum, you heard about my story. If I win this competition, I'm going to use the money to start up in my third country. Because my vision is to help as many kids as possible to increase their knowledge and interest in mathematics. I thank you guys for your attention, and I'm very happy to answer any questions that you give me. Thank you.